Hey guys, so welcome back. And of course, this is the rabbit hole tag, fictional universe tag as well. Um, it was originally created by Williams Library. I was tagged by Joel Swagman, and of course, that was months and months ago that Joel tagged me in it, and I am just now getting around to it. Um, Basically, this is all about fictional universes, you know, and kind of something that you'd want to be involved in, or whichever, or ones that you wouldn't want to be in. So let's go ahead and have a quick drink, and then we'll get started. Now, of course, I have my Golden Girls cup, and I am drinking coffee. It is currently all but 11, so I'm hoping this doesn't take too awful long. All right, question number one. In which fictional universe would you visit or explore? For me, it was kind of hard to choose for this. Um, I probably would say um, Joseph Schrodenlefeu, Camilla. Really liked this book. Read it, heavens, it's been a long while back now. Um, but it's definitely one of the first kind of vampiric novels, kind of thing. This predates Dracula, I think, but I know it predates it. I don't remember quite how long. It takes place in, I want to say, England, either England or Ireland, and it's just for me, it's this fascinating thing where there's questions of vampirism at parts. There's also um, really the first possible tangible representation of lesbian characters, in here. It's a dynamic situation, something that is not really seen, especially for the time. Um, and this was written pretty far back. Um, it doesn't have its original publication here. Um, he lived between 1918 or 1914 and 1973. So it's definitely a fairly older book. Um, and it does take place in Ireland. So it's for me definitely a interesting, fascinating place, as well as it's just set up completely different than most other vampiric kind of settlements. Um, yeah. Question number two. In which fictional universe would you stay if you could not return? For me, this was another hard question for me to answer. And I think for me, it definitely would be James M. McCain's Mildred Pierce. Read this once again in college. And I actually have the movie somewhere over here. Of course, right here. I don't know if you all can see that. Probably not. Um, and of course, it has Joan Crawford. Love Joan Crawford. But it's definitely one of those very good conflict risen cases kind of things that is set up. And it's, but at the same time, it is a very female, strong, driven situation where, for me, I'd really loved to have been, even if it was just a side character, and just watch, how this entire, how Mildred, as well as her daughter, who should have been shaken a few times with love, definitely, I really liked this, and it's definitely a universe I really wish I could find more stuff on. And I even now I love this book. Um, really want to revisit it after I at least clear a bookshelf. um, so we'll get there. Number three, what fictional universe would you avoid? Um, for me, I really found it difficult to try and come into a universe that wasn't apocalyptic or something like that, or something about war or whatever. Um, and of course, I didn't get very far. I ended up picking Cormac McCarthy, The Road, which is a post-apocalyptic, you know, book, something um that is horrible. I remember reading it in class, and at the time I was listening to the audiobook as well. A horrible thing after, a global, you know, apocalypse. Then we see this situation where, a father and son have to try and make it, and it's this heart-wrenching story. There's cannibals, there's starvation, it's horrible. And for me, that is terrifying. Definitely not a book I or a universe I'd want to be logged in. Number three, in which fictional universe would you fight for the cause or enter a competition? For this one, I, interestingly enough, fell into the situation where I wasn't sure what I really wanted. I definitely thought, really, what books do I have or what things have I read that there's really like a competition or, something. And of course, one of the more interesting things is Before We Were Free by Julia Alvarez. And of course, I think I did. That was part of new series Who Dis. Something definitely that was lost, which is kind of sad. Maybe one day we'll hopefully pick that up. But um, you know, it takes place in the Dominican Republic. Um, and poor Anita, is going through all these things as well as becoming, a woman in the Dominican Revolution and all these things. And I really think that that would be probably one of the best books I would choose, that I would be on somebody's side. I'd want to push for the betterment of good, um, simply because it is heart-wrenching at times. Um, and I would want, to fight, make things good, try to make the world better. Number five, which fictional universe would you want to rule? For me, this was I really didn't know, simply because I don't I wasn't sure about what kind of situation there would be for that. Um, so I kind of thought about it really hard. Probably one of the longer things that I really thought about. And the one that I actually went with was the Kite Runner, which is by I think it's Khalid Hassani. I feel like I butchered that. Um, I remember reading this book within the span of a week, um, more like 5 days or something. Um, and I think and I'm not sure if anybody's read this. I highly recommend this. This is one of my top five books that I love. And um, for me, it is, there's both this situation that is in um, Afghanistan, as well as the one that's here in the United States. And to have been a ruler at either one of those would be, for me, interesting, especially because the right choice of people in either location could have drastically changed how this universe plays out. It is, once again, a very heart wrenching thing, and it's, for me, it's truly painful to think about it. Um, and I really do think that, at least for me, how I would have preferred it, or been the ruler and, you know, even if it would have been in the US versus Afghanistan or in Afghanistan versus the US, it really could have changed how things played out in this book. So, um, of course, that's the end of the tag, the 5 books. Um, I know that Joel tagged me. He also, I think he also, let me double check, um, really tagged the people that I know as well. But I encourage anybody that is interested, go ahead and do this book tag or even comment below. Um, I'll have a copy of the questions and, just do it too. I'm, even if it's just commenting, be a part of the conversation. I'll also link below both Joel's video and I'll link William's video. This is always something that I find awesome is doing book tags. And if you guys find any more or if anything else comes out, um, just let me know. I really enjoy these book tags. So I hope you all are filled with peace, love, and joy. You guys take care.